How's the honour, guys? Is it something that you think about at the start of the year or at any stage in your career that you want to achieve?
Go for it, mate.
No.
Oh, it is. There's no doubt it's a great honour. It's definitely not something you think about as a player going into a football season, but I guess looking back on it now, it's reward for both of us probably for a consistent year of footy.
Patrick, at a young age, it's an outstanding achievement.
Yeah, I was very proud last night, but certainly from my perspective, I don't think I would have got here without Sammy Jacobs and Thommo in the middle. So it's credit to him because Thommo's been around the club for a long time and he's been great for us younger players coming through. And he was very unlucky last year, so it's great to see him get a gig this year.
Just on that, Patrick, with Sammy Jacobs as a playing group, were you surprised?
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. He's had an outstanding season, and certainly we wouldn't be here if he didn't have as good a season as what he's had. So, but at the end of the day, the selectors have a job to do, and I'm sure they go through the important statistics and have their reasoning.
Is it a talking point today, though, amongst the playing group anyway, or having taken the mickey out of him?
No, we haven't. We've had a bit of a split-up training session today, so there's been a few blokes in rehab and certain other skill areas today, so we haven't really trained all together.
Might throw this one at Thommo, but obviously rapt to be preparing for a prelim final, but is it a bit of a shame in a way to not be over there last night rubbing shoulders with the other AA team members?
No, I'd much rather be here because it means we are playing on the weekend. I guess it's not ideal that they can't have everyone they want at the function, but like I said, it's important time of the year for us. We need to prepare as best possible for this weekend's game against Hawthorn.
When did you find out about the honour? Did you get a heads up, or are you watching the TV waiting for your name to be called?
Watching the TV waiting for my name to be called.
Is it similar to draft day? Is it a similar feeling or not?
You can't remember that.
I was, that's 12 years ago. I'm ageing. Might ask Patrick that one.
It's a little bit. It's certainly the draft day's a lot different because you're not used to what the AFL media is like. But I suppose there's certain aspects that are pretty similar.
Scotty, you've long spoken about the two prelim finals that you played in and lost, how much they hurt.
Yep.
You get a chance this week. What does it mean to you?
Oh, look, it's great to be in the position now to have another crack at a grand final. It's going back a while, 05, 06, the last two prelims we played in, and I guess the 06 one where we were 4 or 5 goals up at half-time against West Coast is one that really sits in the gut. So to be in that position, and they don't come around too often, and we've got every chance now to go over there and have a win against Hawthorn. It's exciting. We've got players that have already announced, in Michael Dowdy that's announced his retirement. He's playing in his 4th prelim and yet to play in a grand final. So as a group and for him especially, we'd love to make the grand final and give it a real nudge this year.
What knowledge can you impart on your teammates? Obviously there's a lot of young players that weren't a part of that squad and they might think opportunities come around often, but obviously you know they don't.
Well, I think most players throughout the list would know that they don't. We've got a lot of young guys on the list now, and look, the last 2 years we haven't played finals, and it's 6 years ago now since we made a prelim. So you need to make the most of your opportunities. This is my 12th year in the system, and I've never played in a grand final. So it's important that we get ourselves up and about on the weekend, and prelim finals. Who knows what can happen?
The odds makers are saying you can't win. Hawthorn is unbackable favourites. What's the mindset among the Crows players?
Oh, we've got great inner belief in what we think we're capable of doing. We've got no control over what the bookies do and how they structure up who wants to bet on who, but as I said, we're confident and believe in what we're able to do.
And Paddy, obviously, what does the prelim mean to you?
It's a funny one because when I was first drafted, the first year I was here full time, we played great footy, made the finals easily and won our first final and lost to Collingwood, and you just think, oh, this is fantastic, it'll happen all the time. And then the years that follow that, you don't make finals. The environment around the club when you're not winning, it's not a great place to be around. So you appreciate it so much more having played the seasons that we've had in the last couple of years. So I'm certainly looking forward to it, and we want to make the most of it.
So the real feeling among the group, you're not finished, don't want to end it here. You want to go obviously all the way now in this class.
Yeah, absolutely. We spoke about it at the start of the pre-season that we want to play finals footy, and it certainly feels like we've got unfinished business.
Scott, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago you don't care what people think. Is that belief being growing even though you lost that first final against Sydney?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you look back to the start of the season and no one probably picked us to finish in the top 4, let alone the top 2, or even make the finals. But we've always had that belief within the group, and whatever gets said outside is out of our control. So there's definitely that belief. And I thought on the weekend against Fremantle we were 5 goals down at one point, and the belief and spirit that was shown and the fight within the group to get up and get ourselves over the line, we'll definitely carry that into this weekend's game.
What does it take to beat Hawthorn?
Oh, look, no doubt we have to get our hands on the ball and try and play the game in our forward half, and that gives us every opportunity of getting the score on the board. They're big, strong bodies right across the field, Hawthorn. They've got a lot of experience, but we're going over there, confident, knowing that they're favourites, and that's something that's out of our control as well. But we're really looking forward to the challenge to get over there on Saturday and take on the Hawks. That's for sure.
Patrick, in regards to this season, on-field stuff, obviously there's always a great deal of pressure and so forth, but can you talk us through how challenging it's been, maybe personally dealing with the greater expectation on yourself and the greater, I suppose, publicity that follows you now?
Yeah, I suppose that's what happens in the AFL environment. The more consistent you become, and then obviously the environment we're in Adelaide, there's a fair bit of media speculation and scrutiny, and the better you play, the more coverage I suppose you get. But I still think you don't ever read too much into that yourself. You take your advice and your criticisms and your feedback from players internally within the club. So you never read too much into it, to be honest.
How have you seen your own final series personally, Pat? Obviously, Ryan Crowley went off Thommo onto you last week, made your life tough. How have you seen it?
Yeah, I haven't played as well as I would have liked, but I think I think even on the weekend I still played a role for the team, and that's what we need to do as midfielders this week. We're not going to win the game if one of us has 35 and everyone else has 15. We need a really even contribution from all our midfielders and from all the playing 22 to win the game. So it's not about being best on ground, it's about playing your role for the team, and that's what everyone that's in contention to play is fully aware of what they need to do.
And is your bond between you pretty strong, obviously, because you're the two All-Australians midfielders, two Brownlow medal favourites in the Crows, and if one tagger doesn't get one, he gets the other one. So how strong is the bond between you two blokes?
It's always it's very good. No, we have a very good relationship. I mean, we obviously spend a lot of time together, and I think any time we've ever got a picture in the paper, it's always doing something stupid or having a laugh. But we spend so much time together, you can't help have a good relationship. And as much of a pest that he is, you still like him.
Would you like seeing a tagger go to the other one?
Absolutely.
He often laughs, and whoever cops the tag says to the other one, "Good luck, mate, and enjoy your day." But no, we've got a great on-field relationship now, and you can also, I guess, put Sam Jacobs into that mix. And Patrick said before, our season's probably a reflection of what he's been able to do to make us look like better players. And he's very stiff to miss out on selection, but I mean, at the end of the day, we move forward as a midfield group and look forward to the challenges ahead come Saturday.
Who's going to pile more on the Brownlow than you two blokes?
Patrick will. I reckon he's a chance to win it.
I reckon Scott, paying $8. If you look back through his whole season, should be paying probably $2.50, $2.60, I reckon.
Buddy, how you going to stop Buddy this week? Obviously, he's a big talking point. He's just a fantastic player. Is it a team thing again, or can one player do the job?
I think it is a team thing. The same questions were asked last week. How are we going to stop Pav? He was on the front page of the paper basically every week, and Ben Rutten took care of him and did a terrific job on him. So I think once again the defenders will have to work together to stop him, but at the same time I think they'll be thinking how they're going to stop Taylor Walker.
Has a guy like Ryder become more important? His intercept marks maybe dropping off. He did a good job last weekend, obviously.
Sorry, who was that?
Brett Riley.
Yeah, he's another one that was in contention for the All-Australian. He's had an outstanding season, and his value to our team is of real importance, and he'll be another one that'll be super important for us on the weekend.
I need to stop it there. Sorry.
Can I just ask one question on behalf of the general news guys who are doing stuff on tickets and colour and all that sort of stuff? And I wanted to just have a chat on what it's like to have hometown support in a foreign stadium, so to speak? How important it is? Do you hear much of it?
Well, it's a good question. I think they're selling tickets for $150, so I'm hoping a few of our supporters dip into their pockets and purchase some tickets and get across and support us. It'd be nice to see a lot of Crows heads in the crowd on Saturday afternoon.